Happy New Year. This is Arlene Arnold, and I'm here with the focus for the week. And if you're anything like me, I had kind of a slow start to the week. Haven't felt myself exactly, and I think it was partly because of the new moon and the energies that have come in. So if that's happening to you, just remember you're not alone. There's a lot going on, as usual. Okay, so what I picked today is different from what I've done before. It's this is the color card. It's the orange, and it basically says, so you can see it, um, allow all your emotions to be felt. And this color, yeah, there, that's closer to the color of it. So it's odd because there were three definitions of orange that came up, but they're all about emotions. So this is a week when some things are coming up for us to pay attention to. The first one definition, and this is on page 87 for those of you who have the color cards. The first one is forgiveness, and this has to do with the fact that many of you are highly sensitive, intuitive, and that's my mission is for people like you, because life gets pretty tough when you have that kind of intensity of what you're feeling. So this is some of what happens for you and what is important for you too about that. When you give yourself so completely, so those of us who are highly intuitive and sensitive tend to really give ourselves completely. So when you do that, you can also be hurt deeply. Integrity is a cornerstone of who you are. You live in integrity yourself, and you expect others to do the same. When your trust is betrayed, the wound goes deep. You lose trust in others, but you also lose trust in yourself. How could you have missed the signs? How could you have overlooked the warnings? See, if we're intuitive, we come back and go, I knew that on some level. Why didn't I pay attention? To heal this deep wound, you must remember that you are both here to learn. So the person who has betrayed you and yourself are both here to learn. If you were perfect, there'd be nothing to learn. Forgive yourself for being human. Forgive your betrayer for being imperfect. I have a little saying that helps me, and that is, oh, how human of me. Not in terms of judgment, but in terms of, oh, that's right. I'm not perfect, and it's not about being perfect. So you might want to use that if it helps you. So this forgiveness has to do with the fact that we can feel betrayed. But if we allow that to go deep without the healing, it becomes a way of not trusting others and not trusting ourselves. And one of the most important things is to trust your heart, to trust what you know inside. And so this is part of the work, and this is something to pay attention to this week. Now, the next thing, orange is a lot about what you feel, because the feelings come through our senses, and that's if it gets attached, I call it an emotion. But if it's a feeling and it's just that you're being in the present moment, that is really healthy. If you're attached to something and it's holding you back, not so healthy. So this one is about judgment of the senses. If you were taught that sensuality and sexuality were dirty or bad, you may find yourself judging others for their natural approach to their bodies. You may have that same voice inside judging you for what you feel and what you want to experience. Ask your heart what is loving and true for you. Live your life from that truth and allow others to learn from their mistakes or live from their version of truth. Live from their version of truth. That's one of the big things we have to learn is I have a version of truth, somebody else has a version of truth, and I have to live from my version because that's my integrity, but I have to make room for the interpretation others have. And that doesn't mean you get taken advantage of. You don't need to let people misuse you, but it just means that we don't have to be in judgment. Okay, and then the third one, this is really unusual to come up with three parts. Judgment of those who are closed. So on the one hand, the orange is about the judgment that we may have of people who are very natural and feel everything, and we're really uncomfortable with that. On the other hand, we might be really upset or judgmental of people who don't feel anything. So because your body and its senses are a natural part of you, it may be difficult to accept and understand persons who are shut down and cold. If you will meet them in your imagination, you may encounter a frightened, hurting child inside of them trying to protect itself. Pray for that child. Ask that help will come to take that child out of its self-imposed prison. Open your heart to extend love, even if it is not reciprocated. Divine intervention has a way of surprising us with a change of our heart or transformation of the most difficult person. So as you just tune into that person at sort of a soul level or at a, I call it the inner planes. It's like moving from this reality into another way of experiencing that other person. And very often what you're going to find is a really scared child. I feel like all the things that seem unhealthy they really come from fear. And then fear, leads to shutting down or acting out. And again, it's not about allowing yourself to be taken advantage by that, but it's more about understanding where that person is coming from. And usually you can't talk to them face to face. They aren't going to hear you. So the thing you have to do is step back and kind of feel where they're coming from, because you have that ability. You are intuitive, and you can pick that up, and oftentimes we do it without even realizing it. And then you can just feel what's going on with it. And I like to use the colors. I'll just say, is there a color that can help this person? Now, the complementary color for orange is blue, as you see in the middle here. So blue is, if I felt somebody was really emotional, blue might be the perfect color for that person. And but oftentimes I don't even try to figure out what the color is. I just, because I'm so connected to the colors now through the work I do and through courses that I've developed, that I really just say, okay, colors, whoever can help this person the most, please go to them. In fact, I actually did that this morning. My church has a prayer line, and they send out an email. And this one is about a young man who died in a motorcycle accident, I think it was. And he has a wife and a couple of children. So what I did was to focus on the wife and the children and all the people that are left here. And I just was in the process of saying, how can I help them best? And so part of what I did is just ask whatever color can come in and really give them peace, give them comfort, help them through this difficult time. And then I also like to work with the crystalline colors. And so sometimes the crystalline colors can come in and be a great service to that person. It only takes a few minutes. So it's like we can stop when we hear about something and take that few minutes to offer that kind of help. And this week we're looking at this whole thing of how we end up judging, and how judging people who feel things and then judging people who don't feel things, and how we tend to look at things through our own way of seeing them. And again, I would say to you, you still take care of yourself, you still get clear about what's going on, and you do whatever work you need to do around it, and then you offer what you can in healing for the other person. That's a lot for 1 week. So pick out of that whatever resonates for you and use that for this week. And just know that we're in a very fast-paced time now. And so we need to take good care of ourselves. We need to pay attention to what's coming up, because there are going to be really deep kind of issues now coming up. And if something comes up that you said, I thought I was done with that, just know this is a deeper level. Okay, my friends, have a good week. Have a really productive week, and know that you are totally supported from the guidance that's around you, from your own higher self, and from all of us who are on this journey together. So, see, I'll talk with you next week.